We've got live and free district semifinal basketball on the OH Report. Jonathon, Langdon, Andy, Jardy, your camera operator is Oliver Kramer, and we've got A Division 7 bout coming up here in Jeromesville. Hillsdale set to take on St. John out of Ashtabula. It's a 3 versus 11 matchup here today. We're going to take a quick break, come back with your pregame show as we get ready to see these two teams battle for the first time ever on the OH Report.
Steel, Mohawk flooring, Dutch craft bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture. Quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
Where champions rise and rivalries ignite, right here on the OH Report. Time now for your OH Report pregame show, brought to you by Bendon Publishing. Jonathon Langdon alongside Andy Jardy. We're ready for some high school hoops here again in the middle of the week. It's a big night for us here on the OH Report. We've got a new school that we've never covered before on the OH Report. Shout out to all of you from St. John tuning in today as you take on the Hillsdale Falcons. A long 2-hour drive here today for the Fighting Heralds, but they are here and ready to go.
Yeah, that's going to be the interesting thing. I mean, St. John kind of up in my neck of the woods, about 45 minutes away from where I live in Lakewood, but yeah, it's a 2-hour trek down here. The 6 o'clock tip, they got in here pretty much right as the 20-minute horn started to warm up for warm-ups, and they're kind of just getting right off the bus and getting right into this thing. And I'm a huge fan, by the way, of their warm-up, like Hoosier-style pants they got going on. Those are pretty sharp. Yeah,
we'll show you those here in a moment. But first, just talk about this team. And as much as we know about them, it was kind of hard to dig up on some of these guys. But 14-9 on the year. They're headed up by Curtis Turner, who has them in their first winning season back since 2016, the 16-17 season. So looking really good. They've got a couple wins here recently. They're on a 2-game winning streak.
Yeah, and this is a team that's continued to get better and better. They were 3-19 last year, so quite the turnaround this season at 14-9. Finished 6th in the Northeastern Athletic Conference, and a big 13-0 run was a key to their win over Jackson Milton Friday. They've got 6 returners from last season's team, including 4 transfers who have helped get them to where they are this season.
Game before that, they played Lawrencetown, and Hillsdale fans know that name because they just played them.
They did
earlier in the sectionals.
Little common opponent there that's always interesting to see. So, yeah, this is a St. John team coming in. looking to keep this season going. And one of the guys that's going to do it, Dyln Newsome.
Yeah, you talked about this team going 3-19 last year. They had a new addition, and it is Dyln Newsome. 42 points in a performance a couple of games ago, but this is a guy that can explode at any moment, and he's wearing number 3 in blue here today for St. John.
I mean, look at those numbers. I thought those were like season numbers or something for a second there, but that happened in a game. 42 points, 10 assists, 10 threes. Are you kidding me? If he gets going from beyond the arc, St. John might come out of here with what we would perceive as an upset win.
And there's those warm-ups we were
How about those?
talking about. Yeah, nice little colors, and I like the jerseys as well because they've kind of got the St. John on the front, and you can tell it's kind of got that old look to it.
Sure.
And this is a team that's on the rise. Maybe with their performances, they can up their jerseys next year. So you see warming up there is our player spotlight, Newsome, the senior, and didn't talk really too much enough about him during his player spotlight, but 1,000-point scorer. And he also holds the record for threes in a game. That was a 10 3-pointer, as I showed you. But also he holds the record for three-pointers in a game. When he was at Lakeside last year, he hit 13 threes in a game. So not many people can say that they have records at 2 different schools.
Yeah, that's a pretty neat little piece of trivia to carry with you throughout the rest of your life. But, yeah, he's put up some big games this year. 27 points in the win versus Conneaut, 26 the last time out against Jackson Milton. And one of the big reasons, too, that they're still playing here today is his defense late in that game guarding Ryan Romai for Jackson Milton. He had himself a game, but once they made that switch and Dyln went on him, really locked down things defensively and got the Fighting Heralds a fighting chance here tonight.
Let's get to the Hillsdale Falcons, coached by Ben Ferguson in his second season. They took on also the Lordstown Oxymorons, or should I say the Red Devils. They won 60-24. They took on a Rittman team in the WCAL that's always tough, but you wouldn't think it looking at that score, 79-35.
Yeah, this is a Hillsdale team that you and I have seen a couple times in person this year, and when they are clicking offensively, they're one of the best teams in the area. It's just whether or not they can sustain that for an entire game. We've seen them have some slow starts this year as well against some teams that really shouldn't have been able to hang around as long as they have. So I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on here tonight for Hillsdale, is getting out to one of those quick starts. But, yeah, they just continue to keep the wins coming here under Coach Ferguson. 18 wins last year, 17 this year. It just continues. They get better and better, it seems like, each season.
And remember, it was at this point last year where Hillsdale got knocked out of the tournament by Warren JFK, but they have a chance to get further as the favorite team here tonight and the favorite in their district, in fact. And one player that's going to help them out tonight is Brady Critchbaum, because coach on the other side, Curtis Turner, told us that he thinks this team's very similar to Hillsdale with the exception of this guy right here.
Not a lot of people have someone like Brady Critchbaum on their side, 6'7". I mean, this kid is a walking double-double, 15 points, 11 rebounds, almost shooting 60% from the floor. He had a season high, 24 points, 14 rebounds versus Chippewa. I mean, his first team WCAL last season. He'll be first team again this season, no question about it. And as Coach Ferguson has said, one of the most dominant big men in the area. So Critchbaum and Hillsdale, Hillsdale goes as Critchbaum goes, and he looks to have another big game tonight.
We've got one more break, but after this, we will come back with your keys to victory and then also starting lineups and tip-off here today.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture, quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
Where champions rise and rivalries ignite, right here on the OH Report. And we wrap up our OH Report pregame show, brought to you by Bendon Publishing here today as we are almost set for tip-off. Starters coming your way here on the court. I'll bring them to you as well. We'll start with the visiting St. John Fighting Heralds. 14-9 on the year, 8-6 in the Northeast Athletic Conference. They will start 4 seniors and a sophomore, so we'll start with the seniors. Number 2, Aaron Wychok, stands just 5'10", and then one of your 1,000-point scorers, Dyln Newsome, wears number 3. He's a senior 6-foot guard. And then the other 1,000-point scorer, Vin Narducci, the senior 5'11" guard, wears number 23, and then also Grayson Petros, wears number 33. He is a 6'2" post. He will be tasked with guarding the 6'6", 6'7" Brady Critchbaum, and then Chase Newsome, that sophomore, rounding out the starting 5. He wears number 5. On the other side for Hillsdale, ranked 22nd in Division 7, Troy Bennett gets to start, averaging 10 points a game, wearing number 1. The junior is in there alongside the other junior, Hayden McFadden. Both of them will be in the backcourt. Hayden wears number 10. Lewin Ferguson, the freshman 5'4" guard. Don't be fooled by his height. He's one of the better players on this team. He wears number 20. And then Cale Lewis, the sophomore, wears number 23. And then our aforementioned player spotlight, number 32, Brady Critchbaum. Hillsdale coached by Ben Ferguson in his second year, looking for win number 36 of his tenure here at Hillsdale. And then Curtis Turner on the other side of things for St. John. Keys to victory. Let's go ahead and talk about those, and we'll start with the visiting St. John Heralds. And I think for them, just got to let them fly. Get up there for 3 and get some down early. Want to score as much as you can against this Hillsdale team.
Yeah, and you hope to catch the Falcons cold, and maybe the early tip or whatever could play into your factor here too. And I think for Hillsdale, get off to that quick start. We talked about it a little bit earlier, but just they've had some slow starts this year. In 55, the magic number. Both these teams average right around 60 points a game. And it feels like whoever can get to 60 points is going to win. And Hillsdale 15-0 when they hold teams under 55 points. Yeah,
I talked to Coach Ferguson right before the start of this game, and he said that is the key for them. So that's not just our key to victory. That is from the man himself, Ben Ferguson. We are underway and quickly trying to find a pass down the floor. The quarterback can't connect with his all-state receiver, Hayden McFadden. Other way, crossover move, layup is through. And that's a solid start for St. John.
You want to talk about an opening statement. You lose the tip, but then you get the steal and come down and aggressively attack and get in the points. And the bench making some noise. Thought they had packed the place with students of their own, but that's the bench.
So player spotlights, trade buckets here to start. Newsome had it for St. John, and Critchbaum with the easy layup as Newsome went up this time and has it stripped, last off of his side. And we'll go the other way. Falcons finally get a turnover out of St. John.
Yeah, just lost it on his way up there and ends up going off of him. A little out of control there, but you can see the point of emphasis so far here for St. John is to get inside and attack, as Newsome's gone in there twice now.
Ferguson, the floater. Falcons have their first lead of the day. St. John the other way.
He's just so good. Like, it's not just beyond the arc that he can do it. That little floater that he started to develop, a little Darius Garland-esque, I feel like. Just a very impressive skill set for a freshman in Lewin Ferguson.
Good dribble drive pass Ferguson this time, and Critchbaum snags the rebound after the miss by Chase Newsome. Ferguson has it out top, dribbles, another floater. That one will bounce in.
That just tells you he's been practicing that like nonstop, because he knows where to pull up and where to just release it at the right moment. And he seems to know where to get all the friendly rolls on that rim, too. That touched about every part of the backboard.
Cale Lewis, the steal, other way. McFadden flies to the basket. 2 points again for Hillsdale. There's a quick timeout. from Curtis Turner. St. John will talk things over, and good start here from Hillsdale, 8-2 run.
Yeah, an 8-0 run, too. I mean, came down, trailed, and now we talked about this. Like, when their offense is clicking like this and they're forcing turnovers, they're getting their offense out in transition, they are such a difficult team to defend against for an entire game, too, because they will wear you out early. And you'll see teams throughout the game just, like, break down because they can't keep up physically with the pace that Hillsdale plays at.
4 points for Lowen Ferguson, the freshman. 2 points for Hayden McFadden. That sent St. John into the timeout, and then Kirchbaum scored the first 2 points of the game for Hillsdale. And then on the other side, the Heralds, their only 2 points come from their star, Dyln Newsome, who will inbound here out of this next timeout. And Bennett will push start. This looks to be a very wide 1-2-2, light pressure here in the full court. Chase Newsome, brother of Dyln. It'll be a pick and roll. Petros to the basket, too hard off the glass, and that will go last off of McFadden.
Well, every possession so far for St. John, they have gone inside, trying to get in there, able to succeed on that first attempt. And, of course, right on cue, there's the deep three.
Newsome missed it short. Kale Lewis goes in and scoops it, and here comes Lowen across the timeline. Ferguson hands to McFadden, and we see an interception on the solid defense from St. John. Chase Newsome to the basket, a lot of contact, and McFadden called for the foul.
Yeah, he's going to get bailed out here with the foul, but he really should have passed this in transition there. He had his guy wide open, but he does get bailed out with the foul. Go to the line to shoot 2, Chase Newsome.
Shout out to a new sponsor here with Hillsdale as we've got free throws coming up. That replay was brought to you by the Brock Raider team at Howard Hanna. First free throw rattles in. St. John gets back within 5 as we now send it to our free throw zone, presented by Fickes Furniture. 2 for 2 at the line. St. John up to 4 points, and both Newsomes have scored here so far.
That ends the 8-0 run that the Falcons were on.
Kyle Lewis catches, goes right to the basket, fell as he passed it, and that will go last off of St. John.
I thought that went off Lewis when he fell down, but they're going to say it's still Hillsdale ball.
So the Falcons will inbound on the baseline, and Kale will direct traffic. Ferguson open way out top. They'll find him. Tried to dish it in. There's a kick. We were looking for Kirchbaum, but Aaron Wychok was the one to get it with his right foot. Read some Facebook comments. Shout out Daniel Stotts cheering on the Falcons as always. Bennett sits top of the key, swings it over. McFadden off a faux screen, gives it out to Ferguson right in front of the bench for St. John. That shot no good. McFadden offensive board. He's fouled in the air. And even though McFadden was looking to pass to Kirchbaum, it's going to be a shooting foul.
Yeah, it was just a little bit of a mishandled pass there from Ferguson on the 3, but then if you're going to give this Hillsdale team second and third chance opportunities, you're going to be in for a long night, and that's one thing they've done so well this year is out-rebounding all but 2 opponents this season, as there's a miss from McFadden at the line. He is only a 53% shooter on the year, though.
As we get out of the free throw zone, McFadden will come up empty. Rebound, though, by Kirchbaum. Left-handed hook shot off the back iron. And a rebound by Dyln Newsome. Shout out to some other Facebook comments as the Heralds starting to make their way into our stream. Welcome to the OH Report. Shout out to Michelle and Chuck, both cheering on St. John today as Petros is denied. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, but that's a rough start.
Yeah, Kirchbaum just invited them all to the block party right there. He's averaging 2.5 on the season. There's one right there. Oh, nice feed inside. Ooh, might have shuffled his shoes, but got away with it.
Petros misses the layup short. Rebound Kirchbaum down the floor. The freshman, Ferguson, crossover, floater. That's his 3rd of that variety early in this game and has all 6 of his points.
He's so comfortable as a freshman. You just don't see that.
Talk about comfortable. There's Dyln Newsome again. He's got 4 points The Newsome family has all 6 for the Heralds here today. Lewis swings it over, near side McFadden, cross-court pass, Lowen, floater again. Toying with the defense right now for St. John.
It's amazing when you just see that one go in, how it just can carry you, especially when you get it early. But he is
down the lane. There's another block. Rebound, tough shot, and it looks like a travel is going to be called on Vin Narducci.
Well, what did Coach Turner say? That he felt like they were pretty evenly matched, except they didn't have a Brady Critchbaum, and you're seeing that play out here. Critchbaum already with 2 blocks, maybe 3?
I think he has. That was a third, as Critchbaum nearly curls away and had a tough angle at the basket, almost finished.
Yeah, that was too difficult of a shot right there for him.
Petros fades away. Critchbaum was going to take a charge, but he let up immediately. Ferguson lob over top. Critchbaum has it stripped. It'll go out of bounds. Last off of St. John, even though I think that went off Critchbaum. We'll see it again.
I did too, but the official was right there underneath, had the better angle.
Set up again. Falcons have doubled the number of St. John, but here's a throwaway. Dyln Newsome down the lane. Finishes.
Yeah, that pass just kind of went into no man's land there. No one was really sure who to go get it, so Dyln Newsome said, I'll do it and take it the other way for 2 points, and he's now up to 6. Him and Ferguson trading blows here in this opening quarter.
Ferguson, how about a deep 3? No, but Lewis right there for the follow.
Those are the toughest rebounds to get if you're a defense, are those airballed shots like that. You're just not in position to catch an airball like that. You're waiting for something to deflect off the rim or the backboard. And so many times you see it play out like that, where one of the offensive guys, it just falls into his lap and he scores.
Troy Bennett, hop step, got some contact, and he's going to the line. Troy Bennett going to try and stamp himself into this game, shooting 71% at the line. Back to the free throw zone we go, brought to you by Fickes Furniture in Jeromesville. Bennett makes the first. Bennett was a 13-point-per-game scorer last year. Much bigger role in the offense his junior season, but he's kind of stepped aside and it's become more of a balanced attack. You've got 3 players now in double figures on their scoring average. Bennett's one of them right at 10 points a game, and then you've got Lowen at 11.5 and Critchbaum at 15.
Yeah, just a lot of balance on this Hillsdale team, and it feels like they take turns like throughout the game as to who takes over for that quarter, and it's been Lowen Ferguson here in the first quarter. You'll probably see Critchbaum start to do something in the second quarter. You can't keep them all quiet throughout a whole game. It's very rare.
Off the bench, Holland Young can't get the bounce, and a good rebound by Narducci, who had his first good look on offense on the other side of things, but couldn't knock it down from 3, but they'll have another chance here.
How often do you see it, too, with this St. John team? They've got 2 1,000-point scorers.
Yeah, very impressive stuff.
Oh.
As there's a 3 from Petros, and that's going to force Critchbaum to play out on him a little bit more.
It's a big-time shot right there.
That's going to be huge for them to get Critchbaum out of the paint.
Yeah. Well, then what'd you say, too, for one of your keys? Let it fly. I mean, they're going to have to hit a couple of those here tonight. That's a bad pass. Nice defense.
Petros the steal. Newsome down the floor. Goes up over Lewis. Can't bank it in. Rebound still being fought for. And there's Narducci, who draws a foul on Bennett. This Holland Young wasn't quite able to corral it, number 2 in white. And St. John took advantage. Shout out to a couple more comments coming in for the Heralds. Shout out to Jack, and then also Bruce cheering on the Falcons along with Kathy. Facebook chat. Alive and well here tonight for the Falcons in this district semifinal, trying to improve on last year where they went out at the same stage as Troy Bennett finds a lane and takes it for 2.
And coast to coast there. Someone's got to step in and stop that attack from Bennett right there. He went untouched. Easy layup for 2. He's up to 4 points.
Newsome, hop step at the free throw line. Cannot get that to go. His brother tries to chase down the rebound. Cannot get it over Ferguson and Critchbaum. Lowen. Nice anticipated pass, just a little bit ahead of Kale, who was not quite on the same page. This will go out of bounds, stay with the Falcons.
Yeah, and the pass was just a little too soft to get to him where he wanted that pass to be. But they'll keep possession here. Thought we might see Lowen pull up for another one of those floaters that he hasn't missed on yet tonight.
Ferguson, number 20 in white, has 8 points. Stands just 5'4", ladies and gentlemen, and he's still a big contributor to this offense. Talk about 5'4". Here's 6'6" Critchbaum. Can't make the basket, and Knox Lewis has it swatted away on his offensive board.
I am shocked there wasn't a foul call there.
Across the timeline, St. John down 7. Chase Newsome lobs it back out. Here's Dyln.
It's a big final minute here for St. John.
Chase in front of Hillsdale's bench. Looking for Dyln. Baseline drive, keeps his dribble, misses the layup, and it'll go out last off St. John. Here's that whole look again. Brought to you by Hanna.
Boy, he got the shot he wanted. He just could not finish. Again, though, you like the aggressiveness there from Newsome. It's a high percentage shot. Just you got to convert him.
Newsome's got 6 points. That leads the Heralds here today. 18-11, 30 seconds to go in quarter number 1 as here's a handoff back to Lowen Ferguson. Finds Cale Lewis on the left wing. He's got some space. He'll go to the deck right in front of 2 defenders, and he traveled.
It's a good call because he got away with the travel right before that, too, and Coach Turner was pleading with the official, hey, that's a travel. So right there, too many steps. 5th turnover by the Falcons here in the first quarter.
St. John will have the chance at the last shot now. Chase Newsome dishes inside. Petros just can't finish over Critchbaum. Scooped up by Ferguson. 10 seconds to go. Fast break opportunity, and Cale finishes. Clock continues to roll. Got to get a last shot up. Not too bad of an effort. Misses a little short and to the left, and that will do it here for quarter number 1. Hillsdale off to a solid start. The 3 seed, the best seed in this district, a chance to advance to the district championship. They lead 20-11.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture. Quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
Back for the second quarter of action, live and free on the OH Report. Jonathon Langdon with Andy Jardy. And Andy, let's talk about that first quarter. Hillsdale won it 20-11, and that's where we sit right now. What was kind of the help for the Falcons to get out to this lead?
Well, Lowen Ferguson hitting shots the way he was hitting certainly helped. I mean, he had 8 points, 4 field goals there in that first half, and that's just a turnover that St. John can't afford to have coming out of the break there. But the rebounding, a huge difference as well, too. Just 4 rebounds for St. John in that first quarter, as there's a nice bucket from Hayden McFadden, whereas Hillsdale had 12 rebounds. I mean, 12-4 in that first quarter. So that's how you find yourself down 11 points.
30 seconds in, that's already a score for the Falcons. They double the score of St. John here. This is Narducci, picks up his dribble, goes back out to Chase Newsome. Has 2 points so far in this game. Petros has to respect the 3, Critchbaum, and Petros drove past him, missed the layup.
I'm not quite sure why he passed up that open 3, and then if you don't get back defensively, that's going to happen. Coach Turner doesn't like the body language he's seeing from his guys right now, takes a timeout as this is ballooned to a 13-point lead.
Coming out a little bit flat here, St. John's, and that will force a timeout. That's already the second one they've called. Hillsdale's got all 5 of theirs remaining. And in a 24-11 game, want to take a second to thank our sponsors, bringing you this live and free coverage here tonight. A lot of supporters for Hillsdale basketball. And if they can win here today, we'll be following them the rest of the way. Thanks to Simonson Construction Services, from concept to completion, we can help you make a plan, refine your vision, and build a path for success. Thanks also to Bendon Publishing, based in Ashland. Bendon develops creative and engaging products that spark imagination and fun. Currently, Bendon stands as the top producer of coloring and activity books in the world. Did you know that, Andy?
I did not.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
And also want to thank one more person before we get going again. Thanks to Village Point Market, currently celebrating our 12 days of deals. Go to our Facebook page to see what today's deal is.
I do love a good coloring book, though.
Yes.
It's still great, you know. You never outgrow it.
And I always enjoy this gym, too, because there's a lot of color here.
There is, yeah.
Brand new gym, couple years old, but still Falcons' new school, in fact. This whole facility is beautiful, and
yeah,
this gym has been really taken in well by some good basketball programs, especially the last couple of years as Hillsdale has been on the rise. Speaking of on the rise, Kel Lewis was not able to get the block there. He commits the foul, and Vin Narducci going to the line for a chance at a three-point play.
Big-time bucket right there from the 1,000-point scorer, and something that they desperately needed. That was a great play out of the timeout.
And they convert. Narducci knocks down the free throw. It's back to a 10-point game. And our first substitution checks in for St. John. That's Anthony Petrocello. Critchbaum will take a seat. So good opportunity here for St. John to maybe establish their presence inside with the 6'6" Critchbaum headed to the bench.
Yeah, they've got to start. They got to start clawing away at this thing here. You got to put a run together. The only way you're going to be able to do that is if you start to get stops here defensively, and they just haven't been able to do that so far in this game.
It's the most pressure we've seen so far out of St. John, trying to keep them away from the perimeter. Troy Bennett rips through, pass backside, could not find Hayden McFadden. Good steal yet again by Narducci. We've got a couple steals early in this game. Freshman Gus Petros gives it back here to Chase Newsome, who falls to the deck as he spins. Takeaway. Hillsdale down the floor. McFadden unselfishly gives it up, and a missed layup by Bennett.
Sometimes we see that with this Hillsdale team where they're almost too unselfish, and it causes problems for them, and that was the case right there.
And it gives St. John 2 points, as that's now 8 for Dyln Newsome.
Little 4-0 run here in this quarter. Trying to scratch and claw their way back in.
Extra to Kale in the corner.
Oof. It's the first triple of the night from the Falcons. Mr. Kale Lewis, just 23% from beyond the arc.
This team shoots 28% from three. It's improved from last year, in fact, as Newsome misses that mid-range jumper. And Ferguson creates another transition opportunity, but again, cannot find anything underneath.
What a save right there by Knox Lewis. Keeping the possession alive.
No look to Bennett in the corner. 2 in a row here for Hillsdale. It's 30-16.
Well, they take Critchbaum out of the game, and you think, all right, here's a chance for us to kind of get it going defensively. And now they start to open it up and shoot it from beyond the arc, connecting on 2 triples their last 2 trips down here. And it's back up to a 14-point lead and a turnover the other way.
As Narducci catches his basketball, Kale gets it off his knee. Well done by Lewis. That's their best defender, Hillsdale, so he's been tasked with Narducci because you can try to put him on Dyln Newsome, but he's more of a guard, and I think the better matchup for Kale is going up against number 23.
They're gassed. St. John, these kids are huffing and puffing right now, and that's just what Hillsdale will do to you.
I'll go last off Bennett, so we're going the other way for the Heralds. Is that the kind of the idea that you get looking at these St. John guys? Because this is an offense that's towards the top of the league. So their tempo, they're used to going up tempo. But right now, it seems something that Hillsdale's doing has them a little bit more fatigued here in this game.
Well, the problem is they're going up tempo, but they're not scoring, and it's leading to transition offense the other way for Hillsdale, which just puts them in a worse position because they're coming up empty aside from that possession there, but they're coming up empty on the offensive side of things, and you can see the frustration build when a shot doesn't fall, and it's like, oh crap, now we have to get back on defense, and it's not happening.
Bennett thought about another three in that same corner he hit from earlier. Instead, he'll put it on the deck, drive, and draw a foul. So we've got more free throws coming. Falcons doing a good job getting to the charity stripe here today.
Yeah, this will be their third trip to the line, and I mentioned it in that first quarter how it always seems to be a different guy each quarter for Hillsdale. You saw Lowe and Ferguson with those 8 points in the first quarter. Now it's Troy Bennett, who's already got 5, looking to make it 6 or 7 here from the free throw line.
And he'll be the first to double figures for the Falcons. That gives him 10.
He's 3 for 3 at the line so far tonight.
Looking at the comments section yet again. Sarah's joined us cheering on the Heralds, and then we're back to Falcon Nation. Tammy, Haley, and Jim, along with Chris, watching, cheering on Hillsdale.
Appreciate everyone tuning in tonight. A little earlier start than normal at 6 o'clock. I was curious, and I didn't get a chance to ask this beforehand, but like, did they have to leave school early today, St. John? It's a 2-hour drive to get down here, and they rolled in right about when the clock started to warm up. So
if any of you St. John fans know the answer to that, leave it in the comments. Love to know. Maybe they got a nice little send-off, because St. John, they don't usually get to this stage. This is a really solid team for the Heralds this year at 14-9, first winning season since 2017, as Knox Lewis, the sophomore, joins the scoring for the Falcons. It's 34-18.
And again, there was an offensive trip there. They felt like there was a foul that didn't get called. You saw some of the players kind of throwing up their arms, and they don't get back defensively, and it leads to an easy 2.
It was a solid start to the game here for Dyln as he draws a foul, and he's going to have free throws. But we saw him go a little bit cold end of the first quarter, beginning of the second, and this is a good opportunity for him to get streaking again. That'll go on Critchbaum, the foul. That's his first.
And if anything, it's a much-needed breather for a lot of these kids right now. Because this pace, it's been a hectic pace.
And I think one thing that St. John might be learning on the floor right now is Hillsdale. They outscore Hillsdale in total scoring offense, St. John, but the Falcons, I think they put more shots up than St. John's does. And you're kind of seeing that tempo play out here as both free throws are good from Dyln Newsome. And a good trap here, nearly gets Lowen, but he's able to, oh no, it's a travel. Thought they were going to give Ferguson the timeout. And now his dad, Coach Ben Ferguson, is going to try and plead his case. To no avail.
I did not think he got the timeout called before the travel, but I thought they were going to say he did. But, yeah, it looked like he was kind of losing his balance there and took another step before he got a chance to call that timeout. I think that's a good call.
There's a foul on the switch by Cale Lewis.
That's number 2.
Yeah, his second. Team third.
And you saw Coach Ferguson right there just told him, hey, think like you've got 2 now. Be careful out there in these final 2:52. The last thing you need is to pick up number 3 before halftime.
Okay, with the tight pressure, but still able to get open is Dyln Newsome, goes right at Critchbaum, and we've got an offensive foul that I believe they're going to get on Dyln for the extension on the arm. And that they will. We'll get a second look at this.
I didn't see a whole lot on that one. There's been some others that I thought could maybe have been called, but maybe he's been warned about it already, and that's number 2 on him, though, so now he's got to be careful down final 2:40 here. But that was not a lot of contact for an offensive foul.
Good catch by Critchbaum, nearly lost it out of bounds, but he was able to just snag it and lay it up and in.
That was impressive. I mean, that was a nice catch. I thought for sure that was off his hands and out of bounds, but able to keep it stuck to his hand and gets his second bucket of the night. Just 4 points out of Critchbaum. And they're up 16.
Yeah, I was about to say, got a 16-point lead for the Falcons. Looking similar to the game against Lordstown in the sectional. Petros picks up his dribble, gives off to Narducci. Dyln in some space. Tough jumper over Ferguson. Can't get that. Knocks Lewis the rebound, looking for an outlet. Throws it up over top. Ferguson runs and gets it. Low and no-look pass nearly went behind Holland Young, and now they'll reset. No-look pass again. Knocks Lewis Off the window, no. Critchbaum not with the follow, able to finish.
But good looks. I mean, second and third chance opportunities there. Just didn't get them to fall. But they're attacking the glass as we've seen them do all season.
Here's Chase Newsome. Missed everything with that floater, and that'll go out of bounds. Hillsdale will take over. 2 subs coming in for the Falcons. McFadden and Bennett rejoin the contest. Under a minute and a half left here in this second quarter. Falcons 36, St. John Heralds 20.
This was just a 9-point game after one, and it's ballooned to twice that now.
Knox Lewis able to get inside again. That's now 4 points for the sophomore. Narducci tightly defended by McFadden. Another thing to note about this Hillsdale team is they have not lost to a Division VII opponent all season. We have an offensive foul away from the ball. You're going to see it in the very back of your screen as McFadden collided with Narducci, triggered a response, and that's going to be the ref calling an offensive foul on Narducci. That's his second.
Yeah, and Coach Ferguson telling Hayden McFadden to calm down a little bit there because Hayden was getting a little celebratory about that offensive foul call. Just telling him to, hey, like, keep it together. Don't get called for something here.
Ferguson tells the team to slow down with 40 seconds left. Critchbaum just inside the 3-point line.
I'll be curious if they run out this clock here. Hold it for one final shot.
Bennett and Ferguson play catch. We've got a McFadden in the middle now. Extra, Lewis holds it back out. McFadden steps through the lane, finds Ferguson. He'll trigger a three. Yes!
It's about as good as it gets on an execution standpoint right there. Beautiful ball movement.
And at the buzzer, that one won't go. What a half for the Hillsdale Falcons, proving their seeding here in this district. They double the Heralds total. We've got a 41-20 score at the half. We'll have your numbers coming up on the halftime show, brought to you by Bendon Publishing.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture, quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
Where champions rise and rivalries ignite, right here on the OH Report.
We're going to get you some live and free coverage of the second half here soon, but want to first thank our sponsors bringing you this coverage here tonight between Hillsdale and St. John. Thanks to Simonson Construction Services Incorporated. From concept to completion, we can help you make a plan, refine your vision, and build a path for success. Thanks also to Bendon Publishing. Based in Ashland, Bendon develops creative and engaging products that spark imagination and fun. Currently, Bendon stands as the top producer of coloring and activity books in the world. Thanks also to the Brock Raider team at Howard Hanna. Buying or selling a home is not easy. Partnering with the Brock Raider team at Howard Hanna is. As the #1 privately owned real estate company in the country, we can help you successfully navigate the process with ease. Thanks also to the Hayesville AMVETS Post 1969. The AMVETS is a nonprofit organization serving our veterans and community. We wish the Falcons the best of luck in the tournament. Thanks also to Fickes Furniture, 4th generation company celebrating over 100 years in the furniture business, selling Bassett, Flex Steel, Smith Bros of Bern, Mohawk Flooring, and Dutch Craft bedding with free delivery and removal of old furniture. Fickes Furniture, quality furniture at an affordable price. And then finally, our good friends at BS Media Productions. Need a commercial to showcase your business or promote that you're hiring? BS Media Productions is the most affordable, high-quality production company in North Central Ohio. Find them on Facebook at BS Media Productions. Our halftime show brought to you by Bendon is coming up next. And we're back with your halftime show brought to you by Bendon Publishing. Jonathon Langdon, Andy Jardy, joined along our camera operator Oliver Kramer, and also joined by the Falcon in the student section here in a 41-20 contest as the Falcons have run away from the Heralds.
Yeah, they really have. It's been a dominating performance so far from Hillsdale. They went on an 8-0 run in the first quarter that kind of set the tone for the rest of the game, and they led by 9 after 1. They're up 21 at the half, and you see the numbers there. And 14 made field goals in the rebounding. They out-rebound just about everybody this year, but tonight has been just a dominating performance on the glass. Was it 14-5, 16-5?
Yeah, 16-5.
16-5, yeah. So it's been, they've been able to get out in transition and do Hillsdale things, and that's why they built themselves this 21-point lead.
And it's all been thanks to the help of the freshman Lowen Ferguson, who outsiders who don't know Hillsdale basketball may think, why is a 5'4" kid, freshman, out on the floor? But, well, we're about to show you why, because this guy is special, and it all comes from that runner that he loves to use.
Yep, you see one. Now there's two that hit every part of the rim. He probably doesn't get that shot to fall on the road, but here in the friendly confines of home, he does. There's a bucket from McFadden, and then there's another floater, and then here he can show you. I mean, he hit, 6 threes in the opening game of the season this year that we were at?
Yes.
He leads the team in free throws, steals per game, assists per game, three-point percentage. He's been really, really impressive for a freshman. And once again, you're seeing those numbers tonight. He averages 11.5 a game. He's already got 11 points on the night, and he does a great job finding the open guy, as everyone does on this Hillsdale team. but with those 4.5 assists per game, you saw in that highlight package there too, just finding in transition McFadden for the easy layup. So it's been as good as advertised for Hillsdale. This is kind of what we've seen almost in every game from them this year. They just wear teams down with their style of play, and it's something that we've seen again here tonight. And I talked about this last game that I did here on the OH Report with Coach Greg Collins, where I asked him, I said, I always feel like the first 4 minutes out of halftime are the most important in a game. He said that's true, and also the 4 going into halftime. He feels like that 8-minute window is the most important part of the game. If St. John is going to have any chance here tonight, they got to come out and do something quickly here.
Just like they did at the beginning of the game, because the very first play of the first quarter was a sequence where Cale turned it over for Hillsdale, and St. John was able to go the other way and have Newsome get going early in the contest. But you're going to have to see something similar to that and then an extra string of plays to get back into this down 21.
Yeah, and you're not going to get it all back at once, so it's got to happen on the defensive side first, and they got to string a run together. They have not been able to do that.
Underway with the second half as Hayden McFadden has it in the near corner, dribbles it out top, zips a pass into Bennett, who is blocked. Good defense, however, he gets it right back and finishes. The block by Wychok ends up not being much of anything.
Yeah, Critchbaum able to get in there and just tip that one back to Bennett, who was able to lay it in.
Offensive board for St. John, and a tough fading shot falls for Chase Newsome. Chase now has 4 points. His brother's leading the way, Dyln with 10 of the 22 here for St. John. Cale Lewis on a straight line drive is fouled. That will go on Petros. That is going to be his second of the game, and we've got free throws on the way for Cale Lewis. Cale a 57% shot at the stripe. Lewis today has 7 points, make it 8. Hillsdale up 44-22 after that basket. Cale's done some good defensive things as well. He's got 2 fouls. But sometimes when you've got those fouls, it tells you you're playing some pretty darn good defense on the other end.
Yeah, and he has been their lockdown defensive guy, Coach Ferguson saying. And what do we got? What's the discussion here about?
Official talking to Coach Ben Ferguson.
I don't know what that was.
Point still counts. It's 45-22, so it wasn't any sort of violation.
Well, I think it was a warning because they might have given – I saw Coach Ferguson say that, hey, next time, it's probably a technical. Was it something about giving the ball back the way that they did? I was adding up numbers in my book there and didn't get a chance to see it.
He was talking to Critchbaum from across the court. So it had to do with Brady, as there's a big 3 as that falls again for Chase Newsome, has all 5 points here in the second half for St. John. Bennett, no-look pass. Cale thought about the 3. He'll now cross over, play with the baseline. He lays it up and in.
You can hit all the 3s you want to do, but if they're not going to get stops defensively, it's not going to matter.
Cale is the 3rd Falcon to double figures. He has 11. Petros looking for his second 3 of the day. That one off, and McFadden tried to throw it out of bounds. Could not get it off. I mean, he did get it off, actually, of Newsome, so a good job by Hayden.
It's always such a deflating moment as a defender when, you're just standing there. You're watching that ball go out of bounds, and your defender is able to save it and throw it off of you.
Critchbaum the lay-in. He's got 6 points. That matches his total. Actually, no, he's 1 short of his total still in their game against Lordstown. He had 7. In a 49-25 ball game, St. John kind of riding the coattails here today of the Newsomes. Dyln with 10, 7 points for Chase. Only 8 other points make it 10 now from the supporting crew. Makes it 27-49 after that jumper falls for Grayson Petros. Five and a half minutes to go in the third. Lowen, catch and shoot. Knew it was off right away. Tried to go and get the rebound. Tipped out. St. John has it.
Yeah, his feet were never quite set on that, and That's the signs of a good shooter, a good player. He knew as soon as he let it go that wasn't going in.
That shot short by Wychak. Lewis finds McFadden wide open in the corner. That one no good off to the right. Able to win the 50-50 ball and keep it on their side. Lewis backdoor. Unselfish pass again. Tipped out. Bennett steps through. Hop step. At least that's what he thinks it is. It's a travel.
Another moment, too, there of being too unselfish. McFadden there probably should have just tried to lay that up underneath. And we got a kid for St. John here. That's Dyln Newsome. He's gassed. Like, I think he's gonna just catch his breath here for a second. They say he's okay.
It wasn't anything to do with any sort of contact. He kind of just.
I don't know if he might have, I don't know if they were checking for blood or something, but.
It was a non-contact sort of deal. As here's Chase floating that up over Critchbaum. Nicely done by him. He's got 7 of the 9 points here in the third quarter for St. John, and it forces a timeout, but this one is taken by the Heralds.
So it's a good timeout because they've been able to get some offensive rhythm going here, but they just can't get the stops on the defensive side of things.
And it's exactly what just happened over there. Just want to give your team a breather.
I know. I think that's part of what that timeout was, too, was just everyone to sort of collectively catch their breath here. But Chase Newsome now having himself a ball game. 7 points in this quarter alone. He's got 9 on the night. They just... I sound like a broken record, but they have to get stops. That's their only way to come back in this. They've started to figure things out a little bit here on the offensive side. But it is so tough to defend this Hillsdale team that can just hurt you in so many different ways. So many different guys can contribute. You hone in on one guy. I mean, you've seen a lot of teams do this. They're saying, all right, well, don't let Critchbaum beat us. Like, we cannot let the walking double-double take us down. Well, guess what? Other guys are going to step up if he's not going.
See what Hillsdale does here out of the timeout. Well, they'll turn it over.
So there you go. That's step one in terms of trying to get back into this thing.
Got a travel on Dyln, who tried to split a double team. So after that timeout by St. John, the dots on your screen signify timeouts. St. John only has 2 of those left. Hillsdale has not used one all game.
Yeah, there's been no need for Hillsdale. Jumped
Lewis, spin move, can't get that, and Critchbaum does a tough ball to get off the rim. It falls off of his hands out of bounds. Narducci inbounds. Here comes Chase. Newsome defended by Ferguson. He'll hand off. Wychak keeps the ball moving. Narducci gets a screen. He'll step into a 3. Way off to the right.
It's just not the shot you need right there. If you're St. John, I mean, that is a very low percentage 3.
Critchbaum, left-handed hook shot. No good. Wychak the rebound. And the outlet is found for St. John. However, it's a 2-on-4, so I'll have to slow up. Narducci on the drive, up over Lewis. He finishes. Brings it to an 18-point deficit. 7 points now for Vin. Ferguson baseline finds Critchbaum. The lead is 20 yet again for Hillsdale.
You can see why Ferguson's had 3 or more games with 10 assists, 3 games with 10 or more assists this year. He just does such a good job of finding other guys.
How about that sequence right there?
Yeah.
McFadden had it taken away and just scooping up the ball, going right up with it is Newsome. He draws a foul. As you're going to see here, Petros tried to go up on Critchbaum, and Brady did not budge. And then everyone kind of just stopped for a second as McFadden lost the ball.
It's like a glitch in the game right there. It was just kind of a broken play where suddenly everyone was like, what just happened? Oh, that ball's still in play. Oh, you got to have these here if you're St. John.
First shot missed at the line by Newsome. And again, we see hands on knees. Able to split the pair. Falcons looking to respond. Floater again. Ferguson misses that. Knox Lewis, newly installed to the game, gets an offensive board. Kale dishes to the post. Critchbaum tries to go up and under. Good defense, but another rebound. Lewis traveled. You're going to see it here again thanks to this replay. Shuffled his feet.
Yeah. He's had a couple of those tonight where it looks like he takes off before he's been dribbling. They do get him called for that one there. But St. John, they've had a couple stops defensively. That'd be a big-time shot if that can fall, but doesn't go their way.
Yeah, they've gone cold from three. Shot well at the start, but since then, it's really helped Hillsdale here on their defensive effort, seeing all these shots miss for St. John. Tough shot here for Bennett. Good contest, and that will go out of bounds. And we got a timeout, first one of the day for Coach Ben Ferguson.
Yeah, I don't think he's a big fan of what he's been seeing the last couple trips here offensively. And St. John winning the third quarter, 12-10, trying to chip away and give themselves a fighting chance here in the fourth quarter. But, yeah, it's gotten a little stagnant here for Hillsdale offensively, and I think that's a good timeout by Coach Ferguson right now to try and get everyone back on the same page and refocus a bit here. But this is a chance if you're St. John, like, just keep chipping away at this thing.
What do you think the number is for St. John coming out of this huddle? Where do they want to be at the end of the third quarter with a final 2:12 here in the third?
I think you want to try to be down at the, 12, maybe.
That's what I was thinking.
I think trying to get it into single digits is probably a little too unrealistic with how much time is left, and I'm sure Hillsdale will start slowing their tempo down a little bit here down the stretch. But if you can get this to about a 4-possession game, maybe.
Got to start hitting some shots. St. John winning the third quarter, 12-10, and the dish there blocked by Bennett, and it was tried to save in, and Lewis catches it, leads the break. Critchbaum layup is good.
That's vintage Falcons basketball right there. I mean, they get the stop defensively, and then they push the tempo. A great pass by Ferguson. Critchbaum finishing.
They average 61 points a game. Here's another fast break opportunity as Lewis flies to the rim. There's a nice 4-point swing for Hillsdale, but I was about to say, I wonder how many of their 61 points per game come in the fast break.
Oh, 50?
That's a little
40,
bit
45?
of an overstatement. But
I mean, it's got to be a lot of them.
This team loves to run.
And, I mean, out of that timeout, it's a quick 4-0 run. They've reestablished their commanding lead. It's up to 23. And an offensive foul.
Yeah, that'll get picked up on Chase Newsome. It'll be his third. Or no, it's his.
Oh, they gave it to Dyln.
Should be on Chase.
Oh, my. What a breakdown there defensively. Nobody was ready for it.
I want to go back to that foul.
I would say that was on.
Oh, it's an illegal screen.
That's what it was.
Illegal
Okay.
screen on Dyln. That's his third foul. That's huge if you're St. John. And we're going to have free throws after the foul on the other side. This foul went on Gus Petros, the freshman. That's his first. First shot through for Knox Lewis. Averages 4 points, 4 rebounds. He's over his average after that free throw at 5.
Yeah, and we not the best free throw shooter on the team would be my guess, because the student section gave sort of the Bronx cheer when that first one went through, and when we get the numbers from Hillsdale, they don't even give us his free throw percentage. But that's a big-time shot right there from Newsome.
Yeah, so Dyln cashes in, gets some points back. He's up to 14 here in this contest. So we got 40 seconds left. Lewis catches in the post, kicks it out. Dylan Fickes joins the contest. Good ball movement, leaves Holland Young on the left wing. No good. Fickes nearly got the rebound, but Petros tips it away. Tough shot. Newsome off the back iron.
That's the thing. So many of their shots have just been so contested and difficult. It's just been a tough ask for them here tonight.
Newsome was put in a spin cycle. The dish inside to Critchbaum. 3 seconds left here in the third. Last chance. At the buzzer, no good. Lewis nearly fouled him. But a good contest ends the third at a 59-35 score. Falcons looking to put this one away here in the fourth quarter. We'll take a break, come back live and free on the OH Report. (59-35), final 8 minutes here on the OH Report. Thanks for joining us. Jonathon Langdon, Andy Jardy. Camera operator today is Oliver Kramer as Hillsdale looks to put the finishing touches here on this district semifinal with a 59-35 lead. St. John will look to get some points here on the board and get a little bit closer. Jardy, I got a quiz for you.
Oh, gosh.
I've been snooping
What?
on the Facebook comments section, and they're kind of having a conversation about notable alumni
Oh.
from St. John.
Oh, man.
Go ahead and tell me who you think
Oh.
is one of the most notable alumni from St. John.
No, I don't even have like an educated guess here. Man, normally I look up the notable alumni, and I didn't do it this time.
Newsome with the floater as Ferguson draws a foul here. We'll go to the stripe.
Can I get like a hint?
Think of the Buckeyes.
Think of the Buckeyes. Oh,
Lowen Ferguson to the line to shoot two. Back in the free throw zone, brought to you by Fickes Furniture. I'll let you sit on that for a bit.
I appreciate it.
First free throw in for Lowen. Okay, it's been a bit.
Oh, is that right? I got nothing. I
The one and only Urban Meyer.
Are you kidding me? How about that?
Something about East Ohio. Second free throw falls for Lowen Ferguson. Something about East Ohio and head football coaches at Catholic schools.
That guy,
Because over in East Liverpool also, there's a floater that falls for Narducci. The great Notre Dame coach from East Liverpool. Why is the name escaping me right now?
well, the great Notre Dame coach. I'm curious. Are you talking Marcus Freeman? Or are you talking
No, former. Lou Holtz.
Lou Holtz.
Offensive foul.
Dr. Lou.
The name escaped me for 5 seconds. I knew what it was going into the bit, and then it just escaped me. 61-39 here as we end the fourth, or get into the fourth quarter. A minute gone. Up the floor here, Chase Newsome. 9 points, dishes it off. Gus Petros. And here's Dyln. Misses another three. Offensive board. Tried to dish it inside, and that will be last off of St. John. Good defense by Lowen Ferguson inside. I never think to look up notable alumni for schools. I'll have to start doing that a little bit more.
I used to do a whole bit with it called Andy's Alma Matters, like people that mattered from their alma maters. But yeah, it's been a minute since I've delved into that. But that's always one of my favorite things driving too. I mean, living up in the Cleveland area, coming down this way to do games and stuff, I go through towns and places I've never heard of, and I'm always interested, like, what's the deal with this place? And I'll look it up, and then you find out some crazy bit of trivia about it, and it's always fun.
First foul on Anthony Petrocello. That's the second team foul on St. John, as it looks like their season will end today. The record of 14-10. Reach and foul on the Fighting Heralds as Ferguson got ripped. Be the third foul. But St. John, you can't take anything away from what they did this year. 14-10. They go middle of the road in the Northeast Athletic Conference, but it is their first winning season since 2016 and the 2016-17 year.
Yeah, been almost a decade since they've had a winning record. They only had 3 wins last year, so drastic turnaround this year. They just ran into, I mean, this is what Hillsdale does to a lot of people. There is nothing to hang your head about here. It's a tough ask. I mean, you have to get on a bus, travel 2 hours on a school night, middle of the week, and get ready to play a team on their home floor, mind you. And it was just too much Hillsdale. That's really all it is. There's nothing to hang your head about if you're St. John or a fan of alumni of the school. I mean, this is a good team that's going to continue to get better.
Oh, big collision underneath as Critchbaum had the platform taken away from him underneath. He was able to land safely.
And a nice bit of sportsmanship there, too, by Chase Newsome. He went over to Critchbaum, just, kind of making sure that everybody was okay there. No ill intent.
Two shots at the line. Troy Bennett misses the first. Critchbaum scored a couple possessions ago to give himself the game lead, or the team lead for Hillsdale. He's got 14. 3 players with 13 in this one. Ferguson, Bennett, who now has 14, and then Cale Lewis. So well-rounded effort today from the Falcons as they now lead 64-39.
And Critchbaum had 4 points at halftime.
Quick leak out. McFadden misses the layup. St. John the rebound. They'll slow it up. 5.5 minutes to go.
I think sometimes McFadden gets caught in between if he wants to throw it down or just lay it up, and I think that's what happened right there.
Miss inside as a good job by McFadden to kind of contest that late. But an offensive board stays with St. John here on the basketball. Give and go. Layup is good. Vin Narducci able to finish that time, gets him over 40. 11 points for Vin.
What a career for him, too. This will be his final game, but, eclipsed the 1,000 career points this season and did it on January 29th versus Cardinal. Had 24 points, 4th player in school history to achieve that. Coach Turner saying, every time he shoots the ball, I think it's going in. An incredible career. It's always the worst part about this time of the year. It all ends so quickly.
Yeah, you have fantastic seasons, and then you have games like this where Hillsdale just really puts the pressure on you throughout the entire game. But it's also fun with the uniqueness of how the Northeast District kind of runs things and how they let some teams play in their home gyms in the district semifinal, because that's the situation we find ourselves in here today.
Yeah.
As Narducci knocks down that 3, makes it 14 points on the day for Vin. But Hillsdale, you usually play this at a neutral site, but they had one final home game for their seniors.
Yeah. Yeah, don't have to travel anywhere. You just get out of school for the day and walk on over to the gym, and you're ready to go, instead of having to hop on a bus and travel 2 hours like St. John. But they came ready to play. I thought right off the bat, they scored. Their bench was making some noise, and I was like, all right, they're not tired or anything. They came here ready to go. Unfortunately for them, Hillsdale also came ready to go.
Bennett, top of the key, takes the team lead. They're going back and forth for that MVP title here. 17 points for Troy.
Well, it's just such an honor to talk to you post-game that's what they're fighting for now.
I know. They saw me in the gym, and they were ready to go. Not exactly. That ball ends up out of bounds, and here this Hillsdale student section. Knox Lewis and Holland Young will both check into the game. Ferguson and McFadden to the bench. In a 69-44 game, 25-point lead for Hillsdale as we approach the last 3 minutes. Not just here in the game, but for the Hillsdale Falcons at home. Saturday, they will play at Smithville for a district championship. They've passed the district semifinal stage that has plagued them as a program these last couple of years, where they lost to Warren JFK last year. Timeout from Coach Ben Ferguson. Fickes at the scorer's table. He'll come in after the timeout.
I wonder if that's what that timeout was for, was to get Fickes here into the game with some minutes. As I've only been at Hillsdale Wins this year when I've came to cover them, and I just always am amazed that there are teams that have beaten them, because to me they look like one of the best teams that there is because of the way that they play, the balance they have. And just their overall basketball IQ, I think, is through the roof. But yeah, I mean, they've only lost to a couple of the teams that were ahead of them in the conference, and they had that one. What was the one outlier loss? Mohawk that they had. Was that the one that kind of was?
Yeah, it was Mohawk.
Yeah, but then you lose to, Norwayne and Smithville, who finished ahead of you in the WCAL. So this is a tough team, especially you get into this time of the year and you're playing teams from all over that aren't familiar with you, and the type of team that you are, they can catch a lot of teams off guard.
And that's the one downside to us as OH reporters, is we get to see some of these teams, and it just happens to be that every time we see this Hillsdale Falcons squad, you and I've never seen the Falcons lose.
Right.
I've never seen them in a 10-point game, nonetheless.
Yeah, it's pretty much been blowout city every time I've seen them.
Okay, Lewis has it in the corner out of the timeout.
And it's been the same thing every time I see them too, where it's like they just wear teams down throughout the game.
Got Kale, who is going to draw the foul here. He'll shoot 2 free throws, but I think when I go to see them Saturday at Smithville, I believe we'll have a different story, because there's going to be a solid opponent. Whenever you get to districts, you can't underestimate anyone. Even here in this semifinal game, St. John, they have a better offense than Hillsdale coming into this. They average 64. Hillsdale averages 62, but the magic number for Coach Ferguson was 55. Can you keep the Heralds under 55? They did that today with the Heralds at 44.
And a nice ovation for Mr. Brady Critchbaum playing in his final game here. Season will continue, but he'll never play a game on this floor again as a member of Hillsdale. An incredible season, an incredible career for him.
And Lewis, after making the free throw, gets Hillsdale to 70, and he'll pave the way for A.J. Brown to get his first action, number 22, the junior 5'10 guard in the game, along with Gage Barker, the junior 6'5 post, the likely replacement of Brady Critchbaum.
And A.J. Brown has got a bright future ahead of him here, too, for this Hillsdale team as he comes up with the steal right there. But we've seen him block some JV minutes this year when we've gotten here for games. Kid can shoot, and he knows how to play. Nice
pass inside to Knox Lewis. Holland Young dropping dimes here late in this one. 2 minutes to go. 72-44. Ripping through St. John to the basket. Narducci is fouled. That'll be the second team foul on the Falcons. We'll see. It's going to be on the floor. Baseline out. Dyln Newsome will inbound. Dyln catches the 3 ball. That one short. Knocks the quick rebound and outlet. AJ scans the floor, doesn't see much. He'll dribble it back out. 1.5 minutes left. I did see a Facebook comment clowning me and maybe talking about my youth when I fumbled with that Lou Holtz phrase earlier.
All I heard was you say Notre Dame coach, and I missed the first part of that. And I was like, who's he talking about?
Gage Barker really wanted to take a 3, but keeps with the offense, keeps the clock moving. Now we'll square up a 3. That one no good. Rebound Knox Lewis. Keep the possession. Fickes to Brown, same corner. No good. Rebound again by Knox Lewis. And this ball's thrown away. Holland Young threw it over to the baseline. 52.8 on the clock. We'll see if the Heralds can get a last score here. Shout out to St. John making the long trip out here. They'll get to send off their 4 seniors today. Dyln Newsome, Vin Narducci, Grayson Petros. As Narducci finishes again, he's now got 16 to tie the team lead.
And that's a heck of a final shot for Narducci, the senior, if that is indeed his final shot. I mean, getting through the defense there, getting the shot to fall.
And then also Aaron Wychuk, the final senior for this crew. 4 seniors put their stamp on St. John basketball. Got them back over 500 for the first time since 2016, 2017. And they will end their season 14-10. But for the Falcons, they are district championship bound on Saturday. They'll head to Smithville to try and fight for a spot in the regionals in Division 7. Final here today, Falcons 72, Heralds 46. Thanks for joining us live and free. We are not done yet. We've got our MVP joining us here. I'm going to go ahead and give it to Troy Bennett. How does that sound?
I like it. I can live with that.
Troy Bennett will join us upstairs in a moment here live and free on the OH Report.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture, quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
You're watching high school tournament basketball 100% live and free thanks to all of our generous sponsors. Please support those who support your local athletes.
Where champions rise and rivalries ignite, right here on the OH Report.
And we're back to the Falcons Nest. Want to thank our sponsors one final time, bringing you this live and free Hillsdale basketball. We'll be following them the rest of the way as far as they go here in this state tournament. Thanks to Simonson Construction Services Incorporated. From concept to completion, we can help make you a plan, refine your vision, and build a path for success. Thanks to Bendon, based in Ashland. Bendon develops creative and engaging products that spark imagination and fun. Currently, Bendon stands as the top producer of coloring and activity books in the world. Thanks also to Brock Rader and Howard Hanna. Buying or selling a home is not easy. Partnering with the Brock Radar team at Howard Hanna is As the #1 privately owned real estate company in the country, we can help you successfully navigate the process with ease. Thanks also to Hayesville AMVETS Post 1969. The AMVETS is a non-profit organization serving our veterans and community. We wish the Falcons the best of luck in the tournament. Thanks also to Fickes Furniture, a fourth-generation company celebrating over 100 years in the furniture business, selling Bassett, Flex Steel, Smith Bros of Barron, Mohawk flooring, and Dutch craft bedding with free delivery and removal of old furniture. Fickes Furniture, quality furniture at an affordable price. Thanks also to the Village Point Market, and finally, BS Media Productions. Need a commercial to showcase your business or promote that you're hiring? BS Media Productions is the most affordable, high-quality production company in North Central Ohio. You can find them on Facebook at BS Media Productions. Take one more break and come back with your post-game numbers. Troy Bennett will join us also as your MVP here today, presented by the Village Point Market.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk flooring, Dutch craft bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture, quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same. I'm the one that got the flames. With my team, as you know, we come to slay. Let them know that we didn't come to play. Nah, we came to win. I'm ready for anything that they can bring. Bring it on, let me do my thing. I'm a giant, they can move the king. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. Time to go hard and put your game face on. Ruthless, ruthless. This is the moment movies get based on. This is the moment movies get based on. Fire in the bones, watch me fire up the songs. Let it burn 'em, burn 'em, burn 'em. Got the fire in the bones. Our desires, they become who we are. We go hard, giving up, no we're not. Yeah, the first step is showing up. Now we're here blowing up. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you gotta let it go. You gotta give it all you gotta let them know. You are on another level, you are ruthless. Switch it up, it's the new flex. Ruthless, ruthless. If you never risk it, then you never know. If it's holding you back, you
Time now for your Village Point Market Player of the Game. And it's Hillsdale getting the win here in the district semifinal, and Troy Bennett leads the way with 17 points. He goes 5 of 6 from the line. So Troy, I have to bring it up. At this stage last year, took on a tough Warren JFK team, but here you are, able to advance to a district final. What does that, how does that feel, kind of having that in the back of your mind?
Feels good. It's been 24 years since our school's been here, so it feels pretty good. And, you know, this team has put in a lot of work, so I'm pretty happy.
Yeah, so talk about your team, because of course you led the way with 17, but there's so much more than scoring, especially in a game like this. What do you think you guys did well to get the win and really break it out against St. John?
We really made the extra pass a lot, found the open man, ran the floor pretty well. And I'd say our defense was pretty good. You know, they had 2 1,000-point scorers, so I'd say holding them to what they had, I think we did pretty good with that too.
Yeah, Coach Ferguson told me the magic number is 55. Did he tell that to you guys too?
No.
No? Magic number is 55 because now you guys are 16-0 when you hold teams underneath 55 points. So that's interesting. Maybe you might want to note that for Saturday, because it's going to be a big one. District championship, trying to get to regionals, and It's at a place that you've struggled before with the WCAL team. You play at Smithville. You don't have to play the Smithies, but
Be our third time playing there.
Yeah, is there a little bit of animosity kind of in your head trying to get back in that gym and get off to a good start?
Yeah, because both times we played there, took pretty bad losses, the Mohawk and Smithville. So trying to get a dub in there. So hopefully that happens.
All right, so before we shout out anybody watching at home, shout out a couple of your teammates, because I know Brady and a couple other seniors, this is their last time playing here in this gym.
Yeah, shout out the big man down low. He does a lot of work down there for us. Dyln, love Dyln. Who else is there? Holland, he came here I think it was, I don't even know, I forget, but Holland's fun to be around, so glad to have all those guys.
All right, now take a look at the camera. Shout anybody else out. As many people as you want.
Shout out my family, friends, and yeah, that'd be it.
All right, Troy, you get the win. Congratulations.
Thank you.
They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. They been sleeping on me, think it's time to wake 'em up. You've been playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. Playing it safe, now it's time to shake it up. So it's time to make a change. Yeah, it's time to break the chains. Yeah, it's time to bring the pain. Let them know, tell them we are not the same.
And it's time to wrap up our post-game show in the OH Report, brought to you by Bendon Publishing, Jonathon Langdon, Andy Jardy. And it's final here from Hillsdale High School. The Falcons move into a district title game for the first time in 24 years after a 72-46 victory over the 11th-seeded Heralds from St. John. And it was led by the MVP who we just spoke to, Troy Bennett. Shout out to him. He gets 17 points on the day, and you're going to see a good number of them here in this replay that we put together for you. So Troy Bennett, what a performance from him and really the entire team, Andy, because four players were in double figures.
Yeah, it was a fight to get to talk to you post-game here as to who the MVP was going to be. Troy, though, scoring in every quarter tonight. He did it all from beyond the arc. He got buckets in transition, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 17 points. An impressive performance out of Troy Bennett, and this was one of the more impressive performances I've seen out of Hillsdale this year, too. I mean, this was never really a game. It was 2-0 St. John and then an 8-0 run, and it was immediately kind of like, all right, that's it.
Yep.
Like, it was a 9-point deficit after one, and then it was like a 21-point halftime deficit, and it just was all Hillsdale tonight. And you look at the rebounding, 31-12. It was one and dones for St. John. Hillsdale continuing to dominate on the glass like they've done all year. They've out-rebounded everybody except for 2 games this year.
Yeah.
We saw more of that here tonight, and they once again just like ran another team out of the gym and wore them down, I think, physically too.
One of the better rebounding teams that we cover here in the OH Report. Hillsdale and Crestview as well is another team that I can think of. They both rebound the ball really well, and it also helps having Brady Critchbaum, a senior on this team, plays in his final game here at Hillsdale's arena, and a couple of other seniors as well playing their final games. Holland Young, Dylan Fickes, shout out to them. But I think there's no better way for you to go out than winning a district semifinal here at home by the amount that you did.
Yeah, and on the other side of it too for St. John, I mean, they had some seniors as well whose careers are now over, and Dyln Newsome and Ben Narducci both finishing with 16 points apiece, so they both played the kind of game you would expect to see out of those 2,000-point career scorers. Just someone has to lose at this time of the year, and that's just the way that it goes. But a great career by both of those two young gentlemen, and really helped get St. John back into the win column for this season. First winning season, like you had mentioned, since 2016-17, and those two were definitely a big part of it.
So make sure to stay tuned if you're a Hillsdale fan, because Saturday we got a big game coming up in Smithville, and Troy told us they're 0-2 in that gym this year. They lost a tough one to the Smithies, of course, not too long ago, but before that, they took on Mohawk over at Smithville, and they took a pretty big beating.
Yeah.
So that's a gym that has really haunted them this season, and this is the biggest game of their year, and they're going to have to go back there.
Third time's the charm, right?
That's right.
That's the message I'm preaching if I'm Coach Ferguson to the guys. Like, all right, guys, we've been here a couple times. It's time to get in the win column and get ourselves a district title.
That's going to do it for us here tonight. Thank you for joining us live and free on the OH Report. We're out early here today from Hillsdale High School as the Falcons head to a district championship on Saturday. We have plenty more live and free coverage coming your way here tonight. Make sure to stay tuned because we have got some good teams in our area fighting not only to get into the district title, but we've got a girls squad in Clear Fork fighting to make their way into a regional title this week, and that starts tonight at 8 o'clock. So thank you for joining us. There's your sponsors going through your screen one final time. Falcons 72, Heralds 46. We'll see you next time on the OH Report.